Do not fall for your temptations, Valley Club. In this video, we're counting down the biggest trap teams in Marvel Strike Force. So these aren't trash teams that hold no value. These are trap teams. Teams that are good, have some value, but maybe not as much as you think. So your resources, they're better spent elsewhere. So if you're ready to not fall for these traps anymore, then you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great day. In this video, we are counting down the biggest trap teams in Marvel Strike Force. So these are actually teams that have some value. They could be good in one game mode, could be a raid team, could be a legendary unlock, but outside of their primary use, they have very little value. But before we start this countdown, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. Minimum 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Usually there's more, but we have news videos, review videos, everything to help your time in Marvel Strike Force. But one of the biggest things to help your Marvel Strike Force experience is to not make bad investments into the wrong teams. But before we talk about bad investments, let's talk about a great investment, and that is your wardrobe. You can get some of the softest, most comfortable shirts around from the sponsor of this video, INTOTHEAM. And they have all sorts of cool designs and themes for their graphic tees. I'm 6'3", 200 pounds, and I'm wearing their Cyber District tee. Size large, it's a very comfortable, slim fit, and I really like the super soft premium poly cotton blend that they use in their shirts. It's really soft, but it's durable as well. So the folks over at INTOTHEAM let me pick 3 samples, and I really like these Japanese inspired shirts, but they also have space themed shirts, skull themes, and a bunch more themes, so you can choose a style that fits your look the best. And INTOTHEAM also offers button-ups, hoodies, and a lot more. And starting on the 29th of February until the 3rd of March, there's a huge site-wide sale where you can get 30 to 80% off selected items. And if you use my affiliate link in the description, INTOTHEAM.com/ValleyFlyin, you get an additional 10% off your entire order. So don't wait. Check them out now so you can look good just in time for spring. And once again, thanks to the folks over at INTOTHEAM for sponsoring this video and this awesome shirt. Check them out, guys. Save some money with the link down below. But let's start with this countdown, starting with the Young Avengers. They are a pretty good team. They were pretty good for a while. Kate Bishop did have a lot of value. Squirrel Girl had a lot of value for a while. Echo in the last season of Cosmic Crucible had some value because she stopped those extra attacks. But right now, they're pretty much a war defense team. They're not even using war offense. They're pretty much using war defense. So while you all have some value for Squirrel Girl, Kate Bishop, this is a team that is on the decline, so don't invest in them. Next team to not invest in is the Black Order with Thanos. Technically, Thanos doesn't have that Black Order tag, so he's not a part of the Black Order, but he is on this team. Do not invest in them, though. They were a previous arena meta. They beat everything. And in the previous season of War, a couple seasons ago in War, they did have some added value to give them a new life. They got a slight rework, but even with that, nowadays in War, still not a top defense, still not a top offense. So yeah, skip the Black Order. Their time in the sun is long past. And now we start getting in some teams with some actual value. Underworld does have some value in War. Outside of War, they lose their value a lot, though. Mr. Negative is a great character. Taskmaster is a great character. They just had diamonds as a reward for Taskmaster, so maybe he's having a new life down the road somewhere. And of course, we can't forget about Nobu. Nobu's passive still can bring characters back to life even after Nobu's dead, and Kingpin does have a little bit of value in Cosmic Crucible in some hybrid teams. But even with that said, and even with what they can do in War, I still think it's a bad investment to overly invest into Underworld. There's some better teams on defense, better teams on offense. Underworld, they can take out the Extreme X-Men in War. They can take out a Darkhold in War. They can do the mirror match with the Underworld, but yeah, your resources are better spent in other places. So as good as Underworld is, they are a trap team now, so don't invest too heavily in them unless you've already met a lot of your normal requirements in Arena, raids, and are happy with where you are in Crucible and other teams in War. War Dogs are a great War team, but outside of War, they don't have a lot of value. Maybe as a cleanup team in Cosmic Crucible, but your investment in War Dogs are just for War. They can take out teams like Darkhold, Unlimited X-Men, Heroes for Hire, Pegasus. But again, outside of War, you're not getting too much out of them. I know it's kind of tempting to push in this season of Sword Satellite for more stars on Nakia, more stars on Black Panther, but Yeah, outside of war, this team is a big trap. They're not going to give you value in any other game mode. So yes, invest wisely, invest in this team after you've invested in a lot of your primary teams. And another great team in war is the AForce. They're capable of taking out teams like Secret Defenders, Heroes for Hire, Tangled Web, Weapon X, and a bunch others. But like the War Dogs, outside of war, their value diminishes a lot. Photon is still a Secret Defender and does have that Secret Defender tag, but she sucked in Dark Dimension 6. She's not really used outside of this team for me. Not using Cosmic Crucible, not using the raids, neither is the rest of this team. So yes, while they are good in war, there are other teams that are going to give you value in multiple game modes. So unless you have a lot of your foundational teams built up already, this is another team that you could entirely skip. Next trap team on the list is the Infinity Watch, and this one is going to be controversial because this team does still have some value, but zero value in arena, zero value in the raids, especially because a lot of their tags are mixed up. So it's going to be hard to use this team together in the raids. Your main value for this team right now is for Cosmic Crucible and for war, but mainly on defense because they spawn with immunity, safeguard. It's going to be hard to get negative effects on them. And for that, they're still going to have value for a long time. But I think if you don't have your foundational pieces, still working in arena, still working on raid teams, still working on your Cosmic Crucible offense teams or some of these newer teams, this is a team that gets shuffled down the list of priorities. So yes, they're going to give you some value, but your resources are much better spent in other places. So Infinity Watch, they are still a big trap. The Gamma team is required for Apocalypse, and if you don't have a big boy Apocalypse yet, still keep building these characters. Once you have big boy Apocalypse though, the value for a Hulk, Abomination, Brawn, Shield goes down significantly. Red Hulk is still going to have value, but as a team, this Gamma team is just a war team pretty much. They're great on war defense, great on war offense. Wherever you want to use them in war, they're going to be good. They don't have a lot of value in Cosmic Crucible. People place this on defense, very easily beaten by a team like Pegasus, and they're not able to take out a lot in Cosmic Crucible. So main value for this team is that Apocalypse unlock. If you already have that done, this value drops significantly. Pretty much just a war team at this point. And if you want to invest in a team that just has war value, you can. This is a better team to invest in than a team like AForce or War Dogs, but understand that their value is diminishing a lot. And the Nowhere team is very much like the Gamma team. They are used for that Black Cat unlock. They're still one of the best teams in war on war offense, war defense. Nova has some value, like Red Hulk has some value, but you're not using this team anywhere other than war. They have zero value in arena, zero value in the raids. Pretty much all of these characters suck in Dark Dimension 6 except for Nova. So that is the only character that has value. Nova's the only one that you would use in Cosmic Crucible. The rest of these characters just for war. So invest in this team for war, invest in them for that Black Cat unlock. After that Black Cat unlock though, this team drops in value a lot, except for war. So this is just a war team. If you are thinking of using this team in other game modes, don't. Only war. Next team to discuss is the Bifrost, and kind of like Nowhere and Gamma, they still shine in their game mode. This is a team that is needed for the raids. Where does the trap come from though? Investing them after you've already done whatever you need to do in raids. So let's say your alliance is doing the Incursion 2 raids. You're already through the Mystic section. You've built them up, maybe they're level 90, geared to 16, or whatever you need to get to the raids. After that point, any investment in them after you have already simming the raids or doing whatever your alliance needs you to do for the raids, any investment after that is kind of a waste. Val does have some value, kind of like Nova, kind of like Red Hulk. There will have some value outside of this team, outside of their main game mode, but the rest of this Bifrost team as a whole, not used in Cosmic Crucible. Since that rules went away a few seasons ago where Bifrost was a nightmare room to, this team has almost no value in Cosmic Crucible. Val still has some value, but the rest of the team not used. And of course, this team has very little value in war, very easily beaten. Even with a Dormammu combo, very easily beaten in war. So after you're done with the raids with this team, don't invest in this team anymore. The biggest trap team in Marvel Strike Force right now is this Invader team. Yes, they're a raid team, but once you get to the Incursion 2 raids, the hardest raids in the game, this team falls off. And word is that at high levels, 97 and above, gear tier 18 and above, they can successfully beat the Incursion 2 raids, which is the hardest raid in the game. But Unless your alliance is going for 100% on a daily basis, there's no reason to invest in this team. They're the first raid team that's going to fall off. Bifrost is going to be the next. So yes, outside the raids, this team has very little value. Nick Fury is the main one on this team. So yes, you can use him in Crucible. You can use him in War. Does have some plug and play value. And I think he's going to continue to have some plug and play value because that very early speed up that he has. The rest of this team, though, does fall off very hard outside of their team and outside of this game mode. So don't invest in the Invaders. Only reason to invest in them, like I said, is if your alliance is going for 100% right now. They're gonna fall off in the next raid. So that's save your resources, use them in other places. Now, I did want to mention a couple more teams as potential traps. One is the Hivemind team. And yeah, right now, Hivemind has those tags in Cosmic Crucible. They're going to be very valuable this season. They are the solution for the bio section of the raid, so you need them for the raids. However, once this current season of Cosmic Crucible is over and they lose that Superior 6 tag, the only character that I think is going to have some long-term value is Void Knight. And this team, I think, will suffer the same fate as the Symbiotes did. Once their damage falls off, it's going to get a lot harder to get enemies at 25% health, trigger that Carnage passive to get them all their speed, and this team is going to fall off hard. Right now, they are still in the meta, but just realize that once your damage is off of the meta and that current season of Cosmic Crucible is over, not really going to use this team outside of the raids. You will use Void Knight, but the rest of this team, you're probably not going to use after that. Other teams I want to mention are AForce and Inhumans, because they are changing the requirements for Ebony Maw, Omega Red, and Adam Warlock. So those teams traditionally used to unlock those characters and now have less value. And those, in my opinion, are the biggest trap teams in Marvel Strike Force right now. Are there any other trap teams that I forgot to mention? Again, not trash teams that have no value, but have some value, but not a lot of value in multiple game modes, aren't very versatile. If there's any teams I forgot, let me know in the comments though. Hopefully this video did provide you some value, and if it did, leave it a like. It is free for you and it tremendously helps out the channel. And if you want to check out one of the best teams in Marvel Strike Force right now, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.